Hey guys, so this is the third video. We're going to go over how you can reserve resources through both Flack and the Genie portal. And then we're going to go over basically just the 3-node assignment a little bit and just show you how the easy way that I would recommend reserving resources for that. So when you're logged into the Genie portal, if you're doing this tutorial, you're going to make sure you're going to know how to log into the portal. You've joined a project and you have your SSH keys all set. Okay, so first thing that we can do is once we're in a project, we can come down to the project and we can hit create slice. So remember, slice is creating our experiment. So we're going to do 3-node. Actually, let's just call this one test. Okay, we're going to call this test for tutorial. Okay, so tutorial resources. Create that slice. Shouldn't take too long. Great. So I'm just going to show you how we can use Flack. Okay, so here it is. Here's the tool Flack. Okay, there is also Omni, and then you can also use another program called Flukes to work with these slices and resources. But we're just going to show you how to use Flack, which is web-based, and also the portal, which is again web-based. Okay, so we're going to pull up Flack here. It's going to take a little while. So basically what Flack is doing right now is it's going out to all those racks that we talked about earlier, you know, Australia, Europe, all the ones in the US, and it's actually querying them to see what they actually have available for us. So we're just going to wait. As you can see, these ones are still waiting on responses from, okay? And then up here we should actually see their resources when they finally come up. Something to be wary of is there is a difference between ExoGenie, okay, and InstaGenie. For those tutorials, make sure you know what you're talking about, okay? You know, if you need InstaGenie or ExoGenie. So just to give you a heads up, this is what we are working on for the tutorial. Here's node A, here's node B, here's node C. That's why I called it a 3-node, okay? They're linked together, okay? All three of them are linked together. But we want to make it so that when we ping node C from node A, it goes through node B. Okay? So that's what we want to have it do. And we, you know, of course, that's using the .1.10 interface. Okay? When you're using the 3.10, we want to directly ping node C. But for this first one, we're just going to show how we can reserve the resources. Okay? And how, you know, we can link them together. So once Flack is all set, it's still waiting for 3. So okay, we're all set. The get slices is completed. So I'm just going to show you how we can grab a VM. Okay, so let's just grab one from, grab it from Utah. Okay, we're going to just click on VM, and you're just going to drag it in here, anywhere you want. So there we've got one VM. Now, until you hit this submit button, none of these resources are actually available. Okay, so we're just kind of planning it out right now. We're putting them in the canvas, and then we'll hit the submit button, and then you'll notice it'll take a little bit of time, and then we will actually get the resources. Okay, so here's my VM. I'm going to just put in 2 VMs, and now I want to show you how you can link them. Okay, because every single you know, tutorial or experiment, you're going to have to put in VMs, and then you're going to have to link them. So when you go to link them, see how when I run my mouse around this, up comes a little line. If I'm over here, nothing comes, but when I'm close enough to it, up comes a line. In order to create a link, you're going to get that line, left click, and hold, and drag it to the VM, the other VM you want to connect it to. Notice it becomes green, okay? And you can let go, and notice they become linked, okay? So there's lots of things you can do with these VMs. You can select an image to put on these, okay? You know, a lot of times you'll get a URL for the image. See if there's a URL in here. Doesn't look like there's a URL, but for every instruction there should be a URL, and we'll give you that URL if you need it. So you're going to put your URL in here. Version if that's required. You can add install services. So this is actually a service that runs on the on the box when you start it up. And then this is commands. So a command is basically what commands do you want it to run before it's up. So as soon as it comes up, it's going to run those commands. As soon as it comes up, we don't have direct access to it, right? A lot of these nodes, actually every single node that is in this, you've got to think of it in an interesting way. So when we go back here and we actually look at the map, right? This looks like this is linked to this, right? But how would you, sitting here have access to this node or this node? When we actually submit this, we're going to be able to SSH directly into these. So what these boxes have is they actually have two interfaces, okay? One interface for you and I to SSH into it, okay? You can imagine it over here. We're SSHing into their internet interface. And then this guy has got another interface that just directly is connected to this guy. And the same thing with this guy. This guy has an SSH interface, okay, connected to just the internet over here, okay. So it's probably got, each one of these right now has two interfaces. Now these are stitched, together depending on how you want to do it. They can be stitched together on layer 2. Say you have a better idea than IP and you want to test that out, you can get rid of the IP, okay. Or you can keep the IP and stitch them together normally like that. So once you're all set with your topology, okay, you can even drag other VMs out here from different places and then link them together, but we're just going to go with 2 and link those together. You're going to hit the submit button. Okay, and it's going to say, are you sure? Yes. So these nodes are not actually going to do anything for me because if you noticed here, the images, we haven't put anything here. So there's nothing going to be loaded on the image. There's no Ubuntu or Debian or Windows, etc. Okay, so we're not gonna do that. But I just wanted to give you an example of what happens. Okay, so what happened here? What you're gonna see normally if you're doing something through Flack is that you're gonna see the screen is gonna turn red. Okay. Actually, it's not going to turn red. It's going to turn orange, yellow. Okay, and what that means is it means there's a change in progress. So that change, it's allocating those VMs for you. It's actually making all that hardware on the back end. Okay, and when that finally turns to green, that means everything has been allocated. It's ready for your experiment. So now that means you can start SSHing into it. You can start, changing the root tables, etc., etc. Okay. Now there are a few cool tools about this. You can import your own RSpec. So what this is called an RSpec. It's a layout. It's a layout of your topology. So resource specification, right? RSpec. So you can import your own. I'll show you what that would look like. So if we import one, I do have one right here. We're going to use this later in the portal, but there it is. I didn't have to place any of these. I didn't have to edit them, any of that stuff. It's already in here. They've all got their images in there. If you notice, if we come here, you can look at their IP interfaces, right? So each one of these actually has 3 interfaces. Because if we come back here, it's got 2 for their for the actual topology, and it's got another one for us to get access to it by SSHing. Okay. And it's got our image, it's got a few startup scripts running right here, and it's got a few startup commands running. So it's got a lot going on in here, and you can manually fill this out. And once you manually fill it out and you want to save it for the next experiment, you can always go here to view original request documents, or you can even look at the current ones. Okay. So what that is it's going to get you the RSpec that you created, okay? So that's how you deal with RSpecs in Flack, okay? So I'm not going to submit that because that does take some time. It takes a lot of time, actually. So I'm just going to close out of that, come back to my slice. Now I want to show you how you can use it. This is, I think, how you're going to use it for the project that you're running with a 3-node topology. I think we're just going to give you the RSpec and you're going to upload it and you'll have all the resources ready to go. So when you have that, when you have an RSpec, you're ready to go, you just want to import it and go for it, you can just come here to add resources.
And once you're in here, you're going to see here that you can actually choose an RSpec from many other ones that have been set up already. But you can actually click on Choose File here to upload your own. So eventually you'll have one that you can upload. This you'll either get from the course website, or maybe we'll even add it into this Choose Resources where you'll be able to come select it. But we're going to click Choose File and upload our own. And then you're going to want to choose an InstaGenie site. This is an RSpec for InstaGenies. I'm going to select Illinois InstaGenie. I'm going to hit Reserve Resources. And we'll give this a second. So now once that's all done, you should see here your reservation went through correctly. You got your different nodes, logins for each node. You see the interfaces for them all. And that's that. So now we actually have all of our resources. So now we can come back to the slice, okay? And just to check on the status of it, we can do resource status. Okay, and we'll hit yes. Yep. And now it's just checking all of our resources to see what's going on with them. We should see when Illinois comes up here, we should see that Illinois actually does have our resources and is ready to go. Let's see. Well, it might not be ready yet, but it'll show that it's actually reserving stuff at Illinois. Let's see. Okay, so there it is. It's Illinois. It says status is changing on all 3 nodes. So it's unknown right now. So we're going to also have to run this again to see when it comes up. So we're done. So now we've got to refresh it and now see if anything is progressing. Basically, what you want to do is you want to wait until it says ready. Okay, the green light will come up saying it's ready. And at that point, you'll be ready for our next video, which is going to go over the first step of the 3-node topology.